Gervonta Davis' team explains exactly what Shakur Stevenson lacks in a fight with Gervonta Davis, but also apparently blasts the Duckers of Shakur Stevenson in a tweet. Let's talk about that in this video. Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson is the fight that I am most interested in seeing in the sport of boxing at this moment. More interested in that fight than I am in the rematch with Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. I am more interested in that fight than I am in a fight with Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. More interested in that fight than I am in a fight between Dmitry Bivol and Arthur Beterbiev. Go on and on, name a fight. I'm more interested in Gervonta Davis versus Shakur Stevenson than the fight that you're going to name. Because for me, this is the most realistic match between two people that are highly ranked in my pound for pound list. Is I have Gervonta Davis at number 2, and I have Shakur Stevenson floating between 4 and 5. Really depends on that day about how I feel about Arthur Beterbiev. But huge fight, because I know that fight is a close fight, despite what people are saying. And one of the main reasons that it is such is because Shakur Stevenson is such an outstanding fighter. But Gervonta Davis's team and Kenny Ellis let people know why Martin, aka Fanon International Boxing, is dead wrong. Because he says there's something that Shakur doesn't have, and a situation that Shakur Stevenson can find himself in that cannot be remedied because there's a tool that is not in the bag of Shakur Stevenson. But before I get into that, let me just real quick say thank you to everybody that is supporting the channel by subscribing to it, by donating in the super chats and in the super thanks of videos like this. And thank you to all the people that are come here on such a regular basis. I truly, truly thank you for choosing me to have a boxing conversation with. Thank you. So what Kenny Ellis has to say is, imagine this scenario, and he actually turns something on its head. If you have a lot of discussions with Shakur Stevenson fans about why they believe that Gervonta Davis cannot beat Shakur Stevenson, or if you listen to just Gervonta Davis haters in general, people that do not like him very much, whether they're a Devin Haney fan or someone else, one of the main criticisms that they have about Gervonta Davis is that Gervonta Davis loses rounds. And they say Gervonta Davis gives up a lot of rounds. So what is Gervonta going to do with Shakur when the fight gets towards the end and he's down on the cards? If you absolutely need a knockout to beat Shakur Stevenson, that knockout won't be there for Gervonta. Kenny Ellis's response is, yes, it is, because we have the power to walk you down and stop you. We've done it before. If you believe that we're down on the cards, we only have to be perfect, in the words of Deontay Wilder, for a second. And you got to be perfect for 12 rounds. But brilliantly, Kenny Ellis flips that on its head and then presents this question. What happens if it is Gervonta Davis that is up on the cards, and Shakur is going into the latter rounds down on the cards and needs a knockout to win? What do you think Shakur is going to do? He says Shakur is not going to do anything because Shakur doesn't have the ability to stop Tank. And to get aggressive and come at Tank is just going to play out in Tank's hand, because Tank's got that power that is a major part of boxing. So that is something Shakur Stevenson a situation Shakur cannot afford to get himself into. Now, I doubt very much that Kenny Ellis is saying that because he is revealing a game plan for Gervonta and Shakur. I have no doubt that Gervonta Davis is going to go at Shakur Stevenson and press Shakur Stevenson and make him box and fight right there in mid-range with Gervonta. Shakur is going to land some shots. Gervonta Davis is going to land some shots. As Kenny Ellis has said, nobody goes whole fights without getting hit. So the question is, what is Shakur going to do? Not if he gets hit, when he gets hit. And he's going to get hit by Gervonta. Now, this whole conversation is why I say this is the best fight in boxing. This is the fight that I want to see more than I want to see the fights that I mentioned earlier. Now, further proof that Shakur Stevenson is better than you guys think he is was the cause of Kenny Ellis making a statement about William Zepeda and how William Zepeda apparently is not going to be fighting Shakur Stevenson in November. I would like to make a proposition to people. Do you remember when Devin Haney was claiming that he was ducked by this guy, ducked by that guy, ducked by this guy, ducked by that guy? And in boxing, we all of a sudden have, a very loose definition for what being ducked means. I want you to look at what has transpired with Shakur Stevenson in the recent past. Shakur Stevenson has now had William Zepeda pull out of a negotiation with him. He has had Frank Martin pull out of a negotiation with him, and he has had Devin Haney pull out of a negotiation with him. Let me repeat the names of people that have now pulled out of negotiations with Shakur at lightweight. William Zepeda apparently is going a different way. Frank Martin was in negotiations, went a different way. And the champion, Devin Haney, the 135-pound undisputed champion, dropped his belt instead of going into a purse bid with Shakur Stevenson. That doesn't seem to me to be somebody that's doing all the ducking. It seems that he's got a couple people dipping up underneath him, trying to slide away from him, and it's almost as many people as Gervonta Davis had sliding away from him. Because Gervonta Davis had Lomachenko slide on away from him. Devin Haney slide on away. Always talking about him when the fight ain't available. When the fight is available, he got something else to do. At least that's what the word on the street is. But I struggled to find 3 people that turned down Gervonta. Not saying that people, if Gervonta was in the same situation that Shakur was, that they would be doing that. Or if Shakur was in his situation, that the same people would do that. Gervonta Davis has got a little bit of an extra something that makes people want to fight him. It's called the moolah, baby. So anyway, I just thought that was a very, very interesting conversation, very interesting observations from Kenny Ellis. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.